Kia ora, tēnā koe, welcome to Napunawai in Christchurch for domestic rugby league action. This is the men's championship competition final for 2021 between Otago and Wellington. Both teams qualifying after finishing second in their respective regional groups in what's been a COVID-19 disrupted season. So we're expecting a close and fierce match between two sides keen to end the season with a trophy. Yes, thanks for joining us. Glenn Lama here with Blake Ashford here at Napuniwai in Christchurch. Of course, Blake Ashford, former Warriors centre, also experienced at the Tigers and the Sharks. Don't forget, we'd like to thank our major partners, or New Zealand Rugby League. We'd like to thank our major partners, Pertec, Mainstream, CCL, BLK, and Sky Sport for sticking with them in what's been a very disrupted season for 2021. So looking forward to this game as we welcome Blake Ashford to the commentary. And Blake, always good to see these two sides going out at Otago and Wellington. They've had some good battles down through the years. Last time they battled for a title was back in 2019 on this ground, with Wellington just getting there. So hopefully we'll get a replica today.
There's been some good footy today. The sun's out, the wind's dropped off, so we're hoping for another great game. Expecting great game out of these two, Wellington and Otago, and obviously Otago coming off a big win against Canterbury their last start. So be great to see some footy. No win, like I said. Get to see these boys play an expansive game.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing both of these teams in action in just a moment. Let's have a look at the two sides now for this contest, which features the Otago Whalers. They come into this game, of course, with that pretty much the same side that beat Canterbury 2 weeks back. Young centre Eteru Ropati has moved south from Auckland to provide some real punch in the centres and in the back line. And the team has a solid halves and experienced combination there with Mackenzie Hoare and Cameron Todd. And the forwards, they're all hard-working players. Captain, or co-captain rather, Ricky Allen rolls his sleeves up at prop, as does the other captain, Locke. That's Hagan Free, who's averaging 30 tackles a game, and the coach is Dave Reedy, who's been with this team now for some years. Let's have a look at the Wellington side, largely based on the St George Club team based on Porirua, which played the club final against Otaki team Fiti Tera. Those players include fullback James Tafiti, centre Sam Filippo, 5'8", Ontriol Arai Palapa in the backs. And in the forwards, Brad Moafona and Robert Ulaula, the captain. He is going to lead the team from lock. And they have two excellent young players too. Number 8, Hiraka Wanakore, and number 9, White Sortanga. Both shone big time in the NZ Under-20s tournament earlier on in the year. And we're expecting those two players to have big games in this contest today. The coach is Steve Mofanua, who's got two of his sons playing in the team today, Brad and Jesse, who's going to come off the interchange wearing number 24. So those are the two lineups. And we're looking forward to seeing both of these teams out there in just a moment. And we've already had a couple of games today in the youth tournaments, Blake, and it's good that the wind's dropped off a little bit because we had a strong nor'wester blowing for those games, didn't we?
We did, but like we said in the last game, we both had smiles from ear to ear because the footy on display. I mean, that's how you display it to Australia and the NRL clubs. Those young boys put on a show. We had a very close game in the 18s and not too, very close as well in the 16s, but both matchups are outstanding.
Yeah, if you missed those games, they were on the Sky Sport Next YouTube channel, folks. Mid-Central, congratulations to them. They won the 16s title today by 22 points to 10 over the South Island Scorpions. And then we saw a real thriller in the 18s division, and that was won by Upper Central Stallions 30-28, a real topsy-turvy clash over the South Island Scorpions. And a wonderful comeback by the Stallions in that game. They were down by 14 shortly after half-time, but came back to win the game and capture a second title for the weekend, of course, with the Upper Central Stallions winning the men's competition, the senior title, yesterday. These two teams coming out to win or compete for basically third place for 2021. And what's been a really interesting campaign for this team, and particularly the Otago Whalers, beating Canterbury for the first time in 50 years just 2 weeks ago. I'm sure Wellington will be a good, fierce competitor in this game today. Now, we're standing by for a minute's silence, folks, unfortunately, with the passing of the father of one of the Otago players, Mika Murphy, who unfortunately is not able to play today. His father passed away this week in Tonga. So we're standing by now for a minute's silence in remembrance of Mika Murphy's father. And nice touch from both teams there. Mika Murphy, real contributor to the Otago team. Blake, he's going to be a big loss for this team today, not playing. But, of course, not a pleasant experience for anyone losing a family member in these COVID times with his father in Tonga at the moment. So we wish him and his family the best, and we hope Otago put out a show for him today, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Otago last played in this game back in 2017. They actually beat Wellington that day. Dave Reedy, the coach of the Otago team that day, and he's still here. So Otago do have some good memories in this game from 4 years ago. Referee for today's fixture is Darren Hopewell. Wellington captain Robert Ula. Getting all set for the start of this game now. So underway in the third-fourth playoff match here at Ngā Punawai in Christchurch. It's Otago kicking off. It's going to be Wellington with the first carry. Otago coming into this game with 2 wins from their 3 games, beating Southland, or losing to Southland, but they're coming back really well to beat the West Coast, and of course that famous win for them over Canterbury just 2 weeks ago, 36-28. A really good win for them. And Wellington coming into this game today with just the 1 win. Mid-Central, they beat them 48-16, but lost to Waikato and to Upper Central. And unfortunately, Waikato had to pull out of the competition this year because of the COVID outbreak there a few weeks back. Upper Central, of course, went on to win the national title over Canterbury yesterday. And here comes Wellington, Ula, coming up towards the halfway line now. So'otanga at dummy half. And now here is Brad Mo'ofanua. Good carry by son of the coach. Wellington Orcas player 2 years ago, So'otanga. Nice offload to him, and here is Ontrior Arai Panapa. He's playing at 5'8" from this game, wearing 17. He's taken the tackle there. And now So'otanga again, and here comes Bradley Mo'ofanua again. Good carry into the 10. This is good bursting and good running here from the Wellington Orcas. A little nudge through by the halfback there, Aiulu. And it is taken nicely at the back there by Otago. Good set there, Blake Ashford.
Great set. A lot of it was played off So'otanga. I think that's the way to go, straight through the middle today. So'otanga directing all the play around, and a nice little kick to finish the set off.
Yeah, we keep an eye on those young players in that Wellington team. Number 8, Hiraka Wanakore and Wyatt So'otanga. Both, as I touched on earlier, big contributors in that huge win for Central Districts in the under-20s earlier on in the year. Both of them already have experience playing in Australia as well. But back here in New Zealand at the moment because of COVID-19. So Otago coming away, and there is a slow play the ball there. It was Graham who's been hurt in the tackle. Might have even been a crusher tackle there. Some pressure being applied on the neck there to Cameron Graham. Originally from the West Coast is Graham. Hopefully he's okay. So referee Hopewell giving the penalty for the Otago Whalers. And Mackenzie Hoare, who's a key player for them, wearing 6. And Cameron Todd, both very experienced players for Otago, playing rugby league. And they're going to marshal their team around nicely as we see Delaney McKenzie hit the ball up here. And he's lost it. And there is going to be a scrum here. A loose carry's been deemed there by referee Hopewell on number 3, Delaney McKenzie. There is some size about him, isn't there? Blake Ashford, he's massive for a centre.
Mate, I wouldn't like to tackle him. Not one bit. I mean, from the bottom to the top, the legs, the chest, very huge, man.
Well, he actually looks like a prop, and you know what, Blake? He actually is a former prop. So he's been playing, it's his second year in the Otago team. He's still only young, so keep your eye on him. He could be one to watch through this game. Delaney McKenzie wearing 3 for Otago. There's the Orcas, move it away again. Lots of chat as you expect. Playing the ball here for the Orcas. They go over the halfway line now. Good tackle coming in there from Thomas McKenzie, wearing 11. And now Ula Ula. Not the biggest lock forward, but he's certainly a hard-working player. Here's Sortang again. Now to Arai Panapa. Oh, slight communication breakdown, and here's a breakout here. Chance for Otago to chase here. Going back together it for the Orcas was Iulu, and that needed to be made. Todd was hammering down on him. So good work by Iulu to go back and grab that one. And now here comes the fullback for Wellington, James Tafiti. The Sortanga again. And now the winger, George Brown, comes off the flank to carry that one. He's plays for Victoria Hunters, the university team in Wellington. And now Ikavati, the top try scorer for Wellington so far this season. 3 tries in the 3 games he scored. He's Fijian. Good carry over the halfway line here. Wellington looking good with these big forwards they have. That was Manu that time. And now Ula Ula with the kick to end the set. Kicking across that breeze, Blake, isn't it? Because that breeze is coming down on a diagonal from the Rangers, isn't it?
It is. It's starting to pick up as well. So we'll see how they play it. I think that could be why they're starting to play through the middle and just play simple footy to get to a kick. It's going to see whoever makes the first mistake here will be costly.
Yeah, Otago playing with that wind in the first half. This is Thomas McKenzie. Second-year university student at Otago. Oh, there's a little mistake, and it's been picked up by the Orcas, and they've got more possession. Wanakore has gone on it there. He's done really well to gather that one. And here come the Orcas again. That was O'Hagan with that carry. And now Morfanua, Brad Morfanua again. He's been very active early in the game, and a penalty goes against Otago. And a nice field position here for the Wellington Orcas to mount an attack. And they take the tap through Sortanga. And here comes number 14 for Wellington. This is McDonald, Jared McDonald, playing the ball for his hooker. Here's Ula Ula, out to Arai Panapa. Into the 10 they go. Not shy on carrying the ball is the 5'8" for the Orcas. Well, if that catch was taken by Filippo, they could have been in for the first try, and another penalty is going to be conceded by the Whalers. Delaney McKenzie that time. So discipline proving a bit of a problem early in this match here for Otago. That's the third penalty they've conceded in the last 5 minutes. But still they're hanging on here. There's Bradmore Funua who's going to set it up here. With a full set for the Orcas. Here's Ula Ula. He'll take the tackle. Thomas McKenzie in there, making it for Otago. Sortanga. Out it comes here for Aiulu. And he's still there as Caleb Aiulu, but he's taken 5 metres out. Another penalty almost conceded. You'd think by the Whalers there. Songatunga goes from dummy half. Can he get the ball down? And he's been held up. Excellent defence there from the Whalers, Blake.
It was great defence. A lot of things happen around Songatunga. He's the man. We've already spoken about that. Nice little show and go, but the defence was up to it. That's great defence. He's rolled over, but the strength from the Whalers. Great D.
Well, wonderful effort. Here come the Orcas again, and there's the space created. A lovely little shift there. And Manu with the offload has got the try, and it is the Wellington Orcas who capitalise on some wonderful play. You really can't beat an offload in the tackle to create space. Nothing's changed in this game in 100 years, Blake, has it, with Wellington posting the first score.
Great start by Wellington. They've been the team this first 10 minutes, but Arai Panapa, you watch his work here when we go to see the replay. He gets the ball, looks outside, and he has a little double pump here. What it does, it drags the defence goes out, and he hits that man short, which then allows the offload. Great work by the stand-in, the 17, who's playing at 6. Great work.
Yeah, and it was wonderful work, as I touched on in the call from Manu. Sam Filippo getting the try. He's wearing 11, but playing in the centres. Sam Filippo getting his 3rd try of the campaign. He got one against Waikato and also against Mid Central. So Sam Filippo going over to score. And The Orcas lead 4-0. They're playing into that breeze. So as we look at the mountain range in the background there, the Alps, that's where the wind is coming from. So it's coming across directly on a diagonal, really. So the conversion is going to be missed, unfortunately, for the Orcas. So Arai Panapa setting that one up there for Filippo, and it is 4-0 to Wellington. Well, these two played out a thriller a couple of years ago here on this very ground. Blake, I can tell you conditions that day were the complete opposite to what we've got today. It was freezing cold, and the wind was howling from the south, from the opposite direction. And I tell you what, mate, when that game finished, I think we're all pleased to get inside and warm up.
Next to the heaters in the fire, I bet.
100%. Now, Wanakore, this very good young prop coming forward here. He plays his club rugby league for Randwick in Lower Hutt. Ula. Now, more Whenua, hasn't he been good early? They look after him nicely this time, the Whalers' defence. Arai Panapa set up Filippo, who's bursting down the left here. The pace is electric from Sam Filippo. Filippo, you are joking. Give the man a bonus point for that try. Absolutely brilliant play from Sam Filippo. And that is outstanding rugby league. Wellington go to 8-0. Oh, that was special, Blake.
Oh, puts a smile on the face. Arai Panapa again. The dummy under. Here's Filippo, who hits a great line at pace and just does a lot. He still had a lot of work to do. 3 players there. Realised he couldn't get the pass away. Sold the dummy. Scores under the post. Great work by the Orcas. Great start. Great footy.
Wow, what a wonderful score from Sam Filippo. He's a father of 3. He'll be telling his kids for 50 years how good he was in that try. And Caleb Ulu is going to be having a simple conversion attempt from in front here. Whalers have been rocked early. They really haven't seen a lot of ball at the moment, have they, Blake?
They haven't at all. And I give all the credit to the Orcas, though. The way they've controlled the game, they've just gone simple through the middle and put a kick in the corner. And when they got some possession, that's when they started to play some footy. So great work by the Orcas. Let's see how the Whalers respond, because from a lot of people down here, I know they were coming in as favourites.
They were indeed, as Aiulu will convert the try. Not the regular kicker for the Orcas. One of the players not playing today, Walker, has been doing the kicking for them up until this point. But Caleb Aiulu showing his versatility, playing in the halves today. And he was on the wing earlier on in the competition for Wellington. He looks much more comfortable in the halves so far. Great start for Wellington, 2 spanking tries. And that second was one of the best we'll see. So Otago, all they'll be looking for here is a bit of field position and some possession. But first of all, we're going to have to make their tackles. A restart from Hoare. And again, Wanakore with that first carry. Really good to see the Wellington Orcas coaching staff, Steve Moore-Whenua, giving players like So'otanga and Wanakore the opportunity to get up and play against these seniors after playing in the juniors up until now. As So'otanga goes from dummy half again. He's got very good rugby league IQ. So'otanga playing out of the Ipswich State High School in 2018. Played in the Langer Cup. That's for secondary school students. And Ikavati almost got through. And that would have been sensational, but the pass has been rolled forward, Blake.
Oh, very, very unlucky. Unfortunate for the Whalers, because they looked damaging again, and it was that left side. Arai Panapa shows under, gave the ball this time, and then it was a nice offload. Very unlucky forward pass. Now it's the Whalers' turn to get back in this game.
Gee, I tell you what, Ikavati, you don't want to put him in space if you're defending. He looks like his shadow would struggle to keep up with him. He looks super fast out on that wing for Wellington. So here is the opportunity for the Whalers that they've been hoping for. 14 minutes played, hardly any possession at all for them. Let's see what they can make of this. And they're running it straight away from the scrum. And this is looking good. Was that a forward pass? No, it's not. And there's a chance here. And they score. Samate Palu. What a terrific try off the scrum from Otago. And back come the Southerners. Hardly touched the ball, Blake Ashford.
You got to love this game, don't you? They get one tackle with the ball off the scrum, shift it wide, a little bit of deception, and then just straight away to Samate Palu. And he's had too much pace, way too much pace. And just like that, it's a 6, possibly 4-point ball game.
Wow, second year in the Otago Whalers for this man, Mone Samate Palu. And he's got his second try of the season. And he's enjoying himself out on the wing. What a wonderful move from the scrum. And Otago, they needed to hit back, and they did nicely there. There's some good athletes out there in this game. Now lining up this kick is Mackenzie Hoare. He kicked 4 from 7 in the last game against Canterbury. See how he starts off here in this bronze medal match. Oh, yes.
Yep.
Good shape to that one. So 10 points to 6. Well, that is Otago striking back. And Wellington have had all the running, but they only lead by 4. So 10 to 6, entertaining start to the game, Blake.
Sorry, going to do a jersey number change?
It really is.
Yes, sorry, just been informed we're going to have a jersey number change. I'm not sure yet, but I'll get back to you with that.
Oh, good. Good, mate. Keep us informed. Don't want to misidentify players. That is for sure. Oh, that's out on the full. And Wellington make a basic mistake from the kickoff. And Otago get possession on the halfway. Well, Wellington will be fully tested on defence here. We've just seen Otago with that superb try. See what they can marshal up here. They should get good distance with this kick because the wind is right behind that one. And they do. They've made 30 metres. So full set of 6 inside the red zone here for the Whalers.
There's the ball now.
The try scorer Samate Palu. Sure he'll be keen to get involved again. Here they go. The Whalers. First carry comes from Eteru Ropeti. Played for Auckland White earlier on in the year in the Under-20s National Tournament. Here's the halfback, rather the hooker. Now, and this is Pawhaono. Going into the 10-metre zone, and it's now again a dummy half. Out it comes. This is Todd. Nice move out of the back line here. Up in Neru, and it's a score in the corner. Well, they go to the left, then they come to the right, and in for the try goes Solia. And Otago looking good when they spread the ball. It's 10-all. Wow, well, that Wellington defence is being carved up at the moment, Blake Ashford.
They are. Otago have had 2 chances down here for 2 tries, and it hasn't taken many plays either. I think the total of maybe 4 tackles, and they've scored 2 tries. Out wide, but 2 very good tries, very slick passing. So maybe they are the team we've come here to watch.
Well, let's see that shift again. Yeah, it was good rugby league. Apineru drawing that player and going in to score pretty much untouched there is Tofatu Moana Solia, who goes in to score yet another try. He got 3 against West Coast, so that's his 4th for this campaign. Another really good move there. And Otago, wow, They were absolutely looked out of it, didn't they, Blake? And they've come back with a hiss and a roar.
We do know this game, rugby league, it's a very funny game, isn't it? It can just change like that. Kick out in the full, drop ball, anything. But Otago straight back in it and a chance to take the lead.
Yeah, Mackenzie Hoare's taken this a long way back. Almost back to the 30. But he knows the wind is behind him here. So if he can get nice and accurate here, he should get it over, and he's done it. Well. 12-10. Come back here from the Otago Whalers. And look at the size of these wingers they have, Blake. Jeepers, Samate Palu and here's Solia.
Oh, mate, they're all forwards that want to be backs, don't they? All the forwards want to be out there in the back, the flashy plays.
So 12-10. Magnificent comeback by Otago to take the lead.
In the jersey number change, we have Cameron Todd, who's playing halfback for Otago Whalers in the 19 jersey.
Good stuff, thank you, mate. Here come the Whalers again, and this is Tofauno, who was originally due to start on the interchange with Murphy going to play, but unfortunately Murphy pulling out after we touched on earlier the passing of his father midweek. Here's Samate Palu with that carry. Good tackle coming in from Ula. And now it's all being flipped over, hasn't it, Blake, too? Wellington can hardly get any ball at the moment, as now gives it out to Todd. And Delaney coming back on that angled run behind the ruck. Delaney McKenzie, that is. There's the kick. It's from just outside the 40, and it's kicked out on the full. So Wellington will get possession back in the Otago half. Mistake there by Mackenzie Hoare. He'll be a bit distraught at that one. So now the Otago Whalers will be defending. And Wellington, after not seeing much ball in recent times, have the opportunity to move forward here. Aulu with that scrum feed. Or Sortanga off the back. This is Ikavati with that first carry. Plays his rugby league out of Te Aroha in Lower Hutt. Now more Whenua. Here's Sortanga. Now Ula the captain. Oh, miscommunication picked up by Hoare, and Otago have got it. And Ropeti. It is with his hands on the ball, the former Aucklander. Here's McKenzie. Thomas McKenzie, lovely offload. This is Tonga now, who's the starting hooker. First year playing in rugby league, studies psychology at Otago University. Another from Auckland. Here's McKenzie. And Samate Palu. Did well not to go flirt with the touchline there as Hoare gives it back to Tofauno. Man they call BJ. Here's Tonga now again. Here's the co-captain, Hagan Free. He's offloaded beautifully now. Todd can take the line on here. Nice cutout pass to McKenzie. That's Delaney McKenzie. They have to go back to play it. Last play here is it for the Whalers as Todd gives it to Free. Free's tackled now. This is the last. Now, what's referee Hope will stop play here for? There's a player injured in back play here. It's Bradley Whenua. And he's been hit in the head, as his trainer just indicated there. So Whenua will get assessed on the sideline. And it's brother replacing brother. On comes Jesse Whenua. So Jesse comes on. And Bradley's going to be assessed. Well, the Orcas won't want to lose Bradley Whenua for the game. He's been excellent so far. He has had lots of carries and touches. It's Todd. This is Hoare, rather. Nice hands from Apineru. No, and oh, the pass is a bit loose from Ropeti that time. It was the last tackle, remember, though, Blake, wasn't it? So they had to do something there.
It was. He couldn't die with it. They decided to run it. Not a bad option out there. They just got tackled and he threw the ball out. But now look where they are. They got a D up strong here, the Whalers. Well, let's see what Wellington can do with the ball.
Here's Tamati O'Hagan, a former rugby union lock, playing in the centres. First year in rugby league. And a high tackle ruled there. Thomas McKenzie there on the winger, George Brown. So Wellington will get a relieving penalty here. Thomas McKenzie, again studying at Otago University. He's come through the rugby league system in the South. He's a South Island Scorpions under-17s player from a couple of years ago. And he's been in the New Zealand 18s talent development program as well. Thomas McKenzie, hard-working back rower from Otago. Looks like he's going to be assessed as well. So 2 tries apiece for Leafball with 2 for the Wellington Orcas. 1 goal to Caleb Aiulu. And Otago's tries coming from the wingers, Samete Palu and Solia. Both converted by Mackenzie Hoare. So 15 minutes to play, entertaining, even game. Hope you're enjoying the game here on Sky Sport. Live coverage here of the men's championship match. Third place in the national competition at stake here between Otago and Wellington here in Christchurch as Wanakori plays the ball and Sotanga. Ulu's dropped the ball. And play on is the call by the referee, and it's a 7 tackle set here for Otago. There's Tama Apineru, plays at the fullback, Tonga now. And hooker. Good spinning run here by Cameron Graham, right on the halfway line. In fact, that was Fowler who's out there now. And now this is Hagan Free, the co-captain. Good carry. Good play the ball. They've got good momentum here, the Whalers, as Todd gets his hands on it. And that was excellent hands from McKenzie out there in the centres to keep that one in possession. Now Solia. Solia hits the line nice and hard. Now again. Here's Free. Hoare. Good pass. Here's Otago looking good. Ropeti. Oh! Almost taken by Brown, who had 90 metres to go to the other end of the field. Don't know if he was going to get there, Blake.
Oh, Mackenzie Hoare with an absolute perler. What about the bullet? Straight to Ropeti. And just unlucky with that last pass. Couldn't find the winger, but they do get another set of 6 on the line.
Well, they saw Tonga on the sideline. They won't want to lose him for the game. A real live wire out of dummy half for Wellington. So the knock-on called from Brown, that intercept going forward. So Otago with a set of 6 here. Cameron Todd, 4th year physiotherapy student at Otago University. He's actually been in the Otago Whalers for a couple of seasons, originally from Hamilton. Oh, the referee getting in the way there. And now it is. We'll set it up. Free at dummy half. Wellington, I think, might have been offside there. Regardless of that call, it is a penalty for Otago, and they take it quickly. And charging for the line is Fowler. Jake Fowler. Good defence by the Orcas, but it's still alive for Otago. Here comes Ricky Allen. Wellington have got to keep out the Otago Whalers here. And Fowler's over the line and he scores the try. Jake Fowler, who's added real impetus off the bench. His carries have been excellent. The New Zealand University's player has scored the try. And it is Otago who extend their lead to 6. Well, Fowler's endeavour and aggression and urgency has been admirable since he's come on, Blake.
It has been. His little pocket rocket. Have a look at that. He's just changed his line and just ran straight at the markers on the line. They did not move up at all. as you see him change the line, hit the ball at pace, and just too big, too strong. Low gravity, very strong man. So he's really picked it up where these boys left off in the middle. So Otago Whalers, they're just extending that lead.
Yeah, Fowler, he's a real Brandon Smith type of character, isn't he?
Could say that, yes.
So here is Mackenzie Hoare. Oh, Wellington have been rocked by the Whalers. The Whalers, remember, are trying to prove that their win over Canterbury was no fluke 2 weeks ago. And they have really come back nicely into this contest as Hoare has his conversion. So he continues perfection from the kicks. It is 18 points to 10. Try going to Jake Fowler. And that's his third try of the season. He got one against Southland and one in the win over Canterbury as well. So just over 10 minutes to play in this first half, and Wellington have really struggled for any dominance in the last 20 minutes or so as Fowler, the try scorer, hits the line nice and hard with the first carry. Here's Samete Palu, the winger, got the first try. Now more action off the bench this time. This is Michael Mataafa, another debutant this season who's come from a rugby union background. Todd. Apineru is through. He's got support from Todd there. And Todd is going to run it in for a simple try. Yes! Cameron Todd. Otago continue to dominate Wellington. That's 4 now tries in a row. And Cameron Todd gets that one. Oh, they're just carving him up. Slicing and dicing, Blake.
Apineru, too quick. Just gets it on the outside. A little lead out the back play. Just gets it too quick for the Wellington defender. Just opened up. And the patience here. Had a lot of options. He could have straightened up. Just the time he took to pass to Todd. And then the collectiveness of Todd just to slow it down and go under the post for an easy conversion.
Yeah, Cameron Todd going in. And Apineru, that try, he's a senior player. Tama Apineru from fullback, 5th season in the Otago Whalers team. And here is a simple conversion for Mackenzie Hoare. And they have raced away from Wellington. Now they lead by 14, and it's Todd getting the try.
That first 10 minutes, the Orcas just had everything, all the possession, all the run of the ball. I just couldn't see this happening. In the blink of an eye, 24-10.
Yeah, that's right. It was like, I don't know, the Otago Whalers are playing 10 minutes behind everyone else for a little while there because they had just been sensational. Here comes Fowler again. And Jake Fowler proving a handful again for this Wellington defence. Out it comes from Anstis, who's out there now. He played in that game 2 years ago, Troy Anstis. He's slotted in there to dummy half. He's wearing 14, very versatile player. He's played on the wing for Otago. He's played in the halves. And now he's got a dummy half interchange role today. Hagen free. Anstis waits again. He looks very keen to get into the action, doesn't he? This is Mataafa again. Mataafa now bursting through. Fast play the ball has Otago on the front foot once again as Hoare looks to spread it this time. And unfortunately it's dropped there by Samete Palu. And George Brown has picked it up for the Orcas. They dodge a bullet there. Let's see if Wellington can come back into this. They've not had much possession lately. And Tafiti is finding the defence pretty keen on him too. Here's O'Hagan. Tamati O'Hagan playing the ball. 5 metres inside his own half. Still 4 tackles left in the set. Not much room there for Filippo. He got those 2 tries early. They're looking quite bunched around that ruck, aren't they, as one a quarter. That's a good burst from the young prop. Ayulu into dummy half. This time So'otaga still off the field. And there's the kick. As it stayed in the field of play, it's gone too long and it's going back to the 20 for a 7-tackle set for the Whalers. Solia to start the set for Otago. This team has been very keen, and there's a great run from Hagen, free behind the ruck, brushing off tackles with ease that time as Anstis finds Todd. Todd times the pass superbly, and there goes Delaney McKenzie. Oh, good tackle. That's a try saver right there from Tafiti. But it's still there for the Whalers, and Todd is going to score. Catches the defence napping again, and Otago continue to post points. This is looking fantastic for the Southern team as they extend their lead again. Wow, Todd, back-to-back tries for him, Blake Ashford, and it's all looking good for Otago at the moment.
It is, and he started it with a brilliant pass to McKenzie. Delaney McKenzie had the chance. He had a great line. He had the chance to get the try assist on the inside to Todd. As you see there, the intercept attempt. Here's Todd screaming, "Give me the ball. I just filled you in for a gap. Pass me under the post. No, don't worry. I'll get the ball and do it myself." Todd's having a great game out here, directing traffic, throwing some lovely pill, and now sharp feet gets the 4 points.
Well, he's the smallest player on the field, isn't he? But I tell you what, he's got plenty of heart and courage. And he's really enjoying himself out there, Cameron Todd. So that is 4 tries. 5 tries on the trot now for the Whalers. It is just a benefit for them at the moment. And Hoare to continue this 100% kicking record of his. That's the angle for him. Oh, and this one is going to slide across the face. So score remains 28-10. We have 5 to play until half-time. Well, the Orcas have really got to tighten up their defence. Gee whiz, they're just being hammered at the moment. And the great thing from the Whalers' perspective too is that their error rate has been very low. They're not giving any opportunities or free opportunities for Wellington at all. Now that's a messy play of ball, and that will go against Otago's Fowler.
One of your best. Oh, that was awesome. Just put on cue then, you did.
I did, didn't I? Yeah, Fowler was just a little keen to play it, wasn't he?
He was, but he's been...
I think he was trying to milk that penalty, wasn't he, Blake?
I think he was. He looks cheeky. We already said the plays like Brandon Smith, so very cheeky. But now, let's see Wellington. I mean, they've got the ball. They've had it a couple of times down here. Let's see if they can get another 4 points and really spark something, get back in this game.
Well, they need a try here to get back into this game. And this is their opportunity right now as Tafiti brings it forward again for the Orcas. Now, Ikavati. Fast play the ball required here. Could have Wellington bursting. Here's a chance. This is more for Noor. Desi for more for Noor, getting very close to the line. Arai Panapa gives it to Ula Ula. He's held up the Wellington captain. Arai Panapa again. Now Bronson Marino is out there now. Here's Marino. Giving it back to Aiulu. Aiulu is held in the tackle though. Good defence from Otago. Arai Panapa, who's gone into dummy half with So'otaga off the field. There goes the kick from Marino. He's overcooked it. Wellington can't convert the opportunity. Otago hang on.
I think they're really missing Sotanga out there, especially when they had Arai Panapa, who looks like he's filled in a hooker now for him. I really think they need him back out at 6.
Yeah, they need him out there. And Sotanga's crispness and delivery out of dummy half is demand for urgency is been missing in this Wellington performance for the last 20 minutes. There's Samete Palu. Again, Troy Anstis awaits at dummy half. Hagen Free, been impressed with him. His runs have been excellent, haven't they? An angled run behind the ruck has been very useful for the Whalers. Got them out of trouble on 3 or 4 occasions as Todd nudges it down, and that's not a bad kick for Cameron Todd, given the score that we have at the moment and the proximity to half-time as well. So just under a minute to play in this first 40 minutes. 5 tries to 2 it is at the moment. Well done to this Otago team. They've really come forward this season, taken their opportunities. Here's a solid shot and a half on Tamati O'Hagan, and it was Delaney McKenzie. Here's the winger. This is Peter Ekavati, rather, for Wellington. Aiulu, again, looking a little bit indecisive from dummy half. Arai Panapa waits again. One a quarter back out there. And that will do it for the first half. There won't be time for the Orcas to mount something there on the 4th play. So there we are. It's the first half here of the 3rd and 4th place playoff match here in the NZRL National Rugby League competition for 2021. It is Otago leading Wellington at halftime by 28-10. We'll come back with some halftime highlights right after this. All set for a second half here at Napunawai in Christchurch. Thanks for joining us. And we're underway, and it's Wellington playing Otago in the 3rd and 4th playoff match, the NZRL National Competition for 2021. You just joined us, it's the Otago Whalers leading 28 points to 10. Fine first half from them after a sluggish first 10 minutes. They were brilliant in the last 30 minutes of that half. Can they carry it on as they play into the wind? Thanks for joining us on Sky Sport. Glenn Lama here with the call, and Blake Ashford with us as well, former Warriors centre. And now Otago with the first carry. Nice offload there, and Hawes picked it up beautifully. And here's Fowler coming through. Got that try in the first half. 1 of 5 that the Whalers scored in succession as well. Anstis continues this dummy half roll off the interchange. Todd. And now Apineru up from fullback. Tama Apineru. Apineru gives it back to Solia at dummy half, and Todd again. And now Mataafa with the last play now for the Whalers. Is Anstis gives it to the 5/8 in Mackenzie Hoare. Oh, it's been dropped and it's been picked up by Troy Anstis, who's going to go over and score another try. What a perfect start to the second half for Otago. And it's happy days for the Whalers. Well, Anstis won't get a simpler try in his career than that one, Blake Ashford.
He won't. Just tells the wind's picked up while the boys are in at half-time. Mackenzie Howard just put it right up and under. And as you see, the charges come through and it just bounced straight up for him. Anstis picked it up. The man on the spot gets up, and look at the boys. They're celebrating. Big lead.
James Tafiti punished for that drop ball, the Wellington fullback. And here is Troy Anstis A South Island Scorpions player from 2019, originally from Central Otago. At Otago University studying applied science and sports management. And now Mackenzie Hoare is lining up this conversion. So far, 4 from 5 is his stats. And he's 5 from 6 now. As Otago extend their lead to a very comfortable margin now of 24 points. Troy Anstis on the score sheet, got a hat-trick against West Coast earlier on in this campaign, so he scored 4 tries now for Otago this year. Well, it's just all gone wrong for Wellington. As they kick off again, getting plenty of practice at that in this contest, is Apineru. Offloads again in the tackle. Anstis. There goes Mackenzie, who's now sporting headgear. That's Thomas Mackenzie. Here's the winger, Sulia. The second try of the game. Sulia's going to have to go back. Referee had called held. Anstis again at dummy half, and Mackenzie Hoare again. Change of tactics, kick and chase this time for the winger. Oh, it's bounced nicely, for Summit Te Palu. He's still in the field of play, Otago now. Just having fun out there. Lovely little kick that time. And now Fowler with front foot wanting ball. Jake Fowler over the line, and it's another try.
There he is.
Jake Fowler scores again. And unfortunately for Wellington, their game's in the locker room at the moment. And Otago are just having a, excuse the pun, a whale of a time.
Oh, Fowler, the man on the mission there. Look at him. He had no other option. He didn't want another option, should I say. Had the ball in his hands. He wasn't looking for any support. He knew he'd get there. He got his double for the afternoon. Well done. On the field as a replacement earlier on, and he's having a great game. Otago's starting to run away with this. We send Howe, who's going to line up the conversion, put in a little kick, pinpoint accuracy, and just got him right down there in that field position. So they're starting to play some good footy. Their confidence is up. A lot of offloading.
Yeah, is it what? They're just having fun in the sun. And Christchurch heating up a bit too now, Blake, about 22 degrees now, which is nice and pleasant, isn't it?
It is. I'm actually glad for this shelter I'm under now. Just a couple of waters just to cool me down, but they're starting to get hot. The Wellington boys in those black jerseys would be extremely hot.
So it is 40-10 now with that conversion going over from Hoare. And he continues to kick really well, only missing 1 in the game. 7 tries in all now, and it is 40 points to 10. Well, Steve Morfanor, the coach of Wellington, would have wanted a bit more urgency after half-time than what his team has shown so far. Well, 6 minutes played, and again, all they seem to be doing at the moment is pretty much kicking off, which is not good for Orcas supporters. Here's Mataafa. 32 years of age. First year in the Whalers, moving over from rugby union, but still offers lots of leadership and experience to this team. Anstis at dummy half again. Here's Sulia. Strong carry by the winger. He's had a good game. There's Sulia. Anstis again. Gives it to Mackenzie. Here's Hoare. Hoare right on the 40. And Mackenzie handles again. Good run by the young back rower. Now Mataafa, good support from him. Oh, gee whiz, that's powerful run. Proving difficult to handle, is he? the big fella.
Yeah,
Here's Anstis.
We've seen him in space before. That was a sight to see. Beautiful.
It was. There's a good kick from Hortus. Good spiral bomb, but nicely taken by Wellington's fullback, James Tafiti. And they finally get some possession here, Blake, but it's deep inside their own territory.
Yes, it is. Tafiti, great work there. Confidence. It was down after the last drop, but good on him for getting that one, getting the boys some ball. Now they got a penalty, relieving. They need to do something with it now.
Yeah, George Brown, referee Darren Hopewell, ruling a high tackle there. Caleb Iulu is going to kick for touch. And use that wind, hopefully to Wellington's advantage. So Wellington will move into Otago's half here. There's Filippo with the tap. Put on his backside is Tuangalu, who's out there now for the Wellington Orcas. Here's Wanakore. Well, he's still trying hard. It's been defensively out wide where Wellington have really struggled. Here's Ikavati off his wing. Sortanga back out there now. Oh, he's lost it. But there's a penalty, an infringement, and it's going to be Wellington with a full set of 6 right on the 20. Coming back to the 30. Marker not squared there, so Sortanga will get another opportunity. In fact, he played that well, Sortanga. Now Jesse Moore-Whanua. Oh, we haven't seen his brother back, have we? Ever since he's been off the field, they've lost all their momentum. There he is right there, Bradley Moore-Whanua. He's back. Hopefully he can provide some impetus here for the Wellington Orcas. As Sortanga fires up again. Cutting back is Ula. And now we have Faumu out there now for Wellington. He's got the ball in his hands right now as Sortanga lines it up from dummy half, has a crack. Ambitious from that distance. Iulu now fires it out to Bronson Marino. Here's Filippo. He got 2 tries in the first half. Beautiful pass, but Ekavati can't get over. Nicely defended in the end by Solia out on that fringe there, Blake.
It was. The dangerous man that he is, Filippo got the pass away, but great defence from the Whalers. It's no surprise that the Orcas are starting to look good again as soon as Mo'ofanua and Sortanga have come back on the field. They just offered that leadership and just guidance around the park. So hopefully it gets a bit more tight around there now and they can hold this out, get the ball back and make a bit of a game of it.
Well, they have to score at a point a minute to get back into it now, Wellington. 30 minutes left to play. Here's Delaney McKenzie. Former prop playing in the centres. Here's Fowler. Again, a great run by Jake Fowler. He's lost it, though. He's lost it. And now Wellington have got another opportunity through Matthew Faumu. Oldest player in the Wellington team, 34 years of age. Whoops. George Brown made a mess of that, but it's gone backwards, says referee Hopewell. And it could open up here for Caleb Iulu. Slow play the ball. Fowler did really well here to defend that one as Sortanga waits. Bronson Marino. Here's Filippo, now Marino again. Bronson Marino, the Wellington veteran. Ikavati, lovely hands as Sam Filippo is driven back outside the 10. Nice combinations happening out there. Ikavati just puts his foot down and has a crack of the line. He's just short. And another penalty's been conceded by the Whalers. Cameron Todd had a professional foul tinge to that one, didn't it?
No, but you weren't square and you weren't tough. So that's even worse.
So Sortanga with the tap. And now it is coming out onto the right here for Wellington. Taken by Matthew Faumu once again. Good hands from Manu in that passage, and he's going to have a crack at the line here, or Stepi Manu. He offloads. Nice hands from Mo'ofanua, and there is the score from Bradley Mo'ofanua, who's gone over to score Wellington's 3rd try, and some good work coming in there from a number of players. And you're right, Blake Ashford, with Bradley Mo'ofanua back on there, Wyatt Sortanga back on there, Wellington all of a sudden looked a different team.
That point a minute doesn't look too bad now, does it? They're coming. Come on, Orcas, make a game of it. Now, great footy. I mean, they finally got some possession down there, managed to hold on in defence and some second phase play, some offloads, and the big man gets under the post there. So conversion here. Let's see how they complete this next set.
Some good play, good lead-up play too for the Orcas in that set. Some good rugby league. So Wellington really can't afford any more errors in this game. So this is Caleb Iulu again. Managed to convert the second try scored by Sam Filippo. Oh dear, not to be there at all. That was like he lost his run up a bit there. So in the end, no try converted. So it's still 40-14, 26-point margin. Otago, if they went on to win this game, would win 3 games in a row to end their season. I don't know what happened in their first game against Southland. They lost that 28-18. He's not going to plan in that contest. As we see Wellington bring the ball back again. That was Jesse Moore-Whanua. Sortanga once again. Iulu now out to Bradley Moore-Whanua. He's again making good meters post contact there. Nicely timed pass to Faumu, hits the line nice and hard there for the Orcas. Sortanga, over halfway they go, and here's Faumu again. Handling for Wellington. Sortanga pinches. Oh, he pinches more than 10. That's a great run by the hooker. Oh, it's knocked down there. So Wellington will get a set there as O'Hagan almost got the ball there from Tafiti. Good play again from Wellington.
Great rugby league. The Moore-Whanua brothers, just back-to-back to start that set, were huge. I think they're out in the 50-metre line by play 2 or 3. And Sartonga again just darts real fast. I'd love to see them go left here to that man Filippo and his outside man Ekevati.
Yeah, they look dangerous, don't they? Just wonder about Otago's fitness kicking in. They're going to get a bit of a breather here with one of their players down. 25 minutes to play. So 2 tries to 1 unders since half-time. Half-time scored in 28-10 it was to Otago. Injured as Jake Fowler.
Not our man. Down.
No. Well, I tell you what, they've got a handy player coming on. If Fowler's out, it's Hagan free again. He was great in his first stint. So Fowler's going to continue, though. You run it off, mate. So Wellington full set of 6 here. See what they can do through Bronson Marino. Ikavati. Good tackle on him by Delaney McKenzie, who's having a strong game there in the centre. Sortanga. Bronson Marino. Here's Ikavati. Right on the 10 here. Wellington Orcas looking for back-to-back tries in this game. Here's Sortanga. They're going to try and barge over through Jesse Moore-Whanua. Fast play the ball. Has Wellington on the front foot again. Here comes Manu, and the ruling is going to go against Otago here, just as Mackenzie Hoare was off. Well, good endeavour shown by Wellington there, Blake.
Yeah, they're looking a lot better. They are. They're using the big boys up, using them as decoys as well. So I'd like to see them go left still here. I just think it's a time now where you just got to chance your arm. I think get a play off here off the scrum, and I think Igavatu can score in the corner here.
He deserves a try. He's been very adventurous off the wing, getting involved nicely. Igavati. Let's see what they can cook up here. The Orcas. Marino out to the fullback Tafiti. Wellington continue to plug away here. Number 20 is out there, Tuangalu. Tuangalu it is, playing it for Soatanga. Oh, it's lost by Jesse Moore-Whanua, and then lost by number 10, Tofaono for Otago. So we had knock-ons to both teams there. So it's going to be Otago with that scrum feed, and they hang on, Blake.
They do. Very costly. I think it was the right play to go to the man. I just think he was too wide and too flat, but hopefully they get another chance. But now it's their turn to defend, and let's see what the Whalers got left. They've done a lot of defence, so let's see if they're still throwing it around or just shut it down.
Well, we've certainly got the scoreboard where they want it. To Otago. Still 22 minutes to play. Cameron Todd feeds the scrum. Oh, no way. Marino's pinched it. And he scores. Well. That is classic Bronson Marino right there. He's been a cheeky player for a long time. Bronson Marino playing for Randwick and for Wellington. And there he is pinching that one.
Oh, they had a play set up at Otago Whalers. It's like it just took too long to get set. And as you said, very sneaky play from Bronson Marino.
Oh, Marino, that was classic. A couple of years ago, Blake, he kicked a conversion from the opposite side of the field that we're on, or broadcasting from today. And it was a howling southerly, and he started it like 15 metres left of the post, and it curled in and over as he ran back to halfway. He was saying, "Show me the money," to his teammates on the sideline. It was classic. He's a character, Bronson Marino.
Just as you say that, he's taken over the goal-kicking duties. Can we see something like this to Savo? There's still plenty of time.
Well, Bronson Marino has been a great character for Wellington Rugby League for a long time. It's great to see him still playing. Oh, he's missed it. Can you believe that? Well, all that good work 2 years ago, that conversion, he's come a cropper there, 40 points to 18. Well, they missed two conversions basically from in front, those last two tries. Blake, that's 4 points on a platter. Exactly. Just gone.
Yeah, and that brings it back to 3 converted if they had those. So, well, now they just got to do the same thing. I think the two brothers have got to go hard again from this kickoff.
Yeah, simple stuff is going to get the job done for Wellington to get them back into this game. Well, we mentioned it was point a minute at the 30-minute mark. They're actually still, well, they're not right on point a minute at the moment, Blake, but they're not too far off it.
No, they're not. They're not at all. Let's see how this set pans out. Here goes the boys.
Here's Jesse Moore-Whanua. Start the set. Coach Dave Reedy from Otago. There's a penalty going against the Otago Whalers captain, Ricky Allen. He's just about to say Dave Reedy, will the coach of Otago, will just be wanting his team to just reset. Must sharpen their pencil again because it's gone blunt for sure. Oh, it's hard. It's hard not to just drop off a little bit with such a big margin in front. But another quick try here, maybe another one after that, and all of a sudden, it's game on again. It's Soatanga. Gives it to Manu. And now Faiumu keeps it alive. Faiulu. Now O'Hagan can stretch his legs. Tamati O'Hagan. Wellington, short ball this time. A good ball too. Faiumu hits the line nice and hard. Slow play the ball. In fact, there's Manu who carried the ball on that occasion. Here's O'Hagan once again. Second carry for him. And he's just given it there to winger Samati Palu for Otago. Maybe O'Hagan just got a bit colourblind there for a second. And now Otago come away, and that will go against Wellington. And this just gives Otago the chance to settle the game down a bit, Blake, and manage it a bit.
It does. Very costly. I could see he was in there looking for work. You're right. He could have just got the jerseys mixed up. They are very similar, but not what they needed there. Now they're going to have to try and figure a way out of this. Let's see what Otago can muster up this set, whether they go for the kill or they just want to play it safe.
Tama Apineru. And here is Ropeti for Otago. Eteru Ropeti. Here's Fowler. Back comes Tofaiono. Hands still out there for Otago as Fowler hits the line nice and hard again. Jake Fowler, good run. He's still there. This will be amazing if he gets there. He's a hard man to bring to deck. And there's another penalty. Referee didn't like the action around the head area on Fowler. So Mackenzie Hoare. So Otago looks set. Gets set here to restart play. Ricky Allen. Playing the ball a couple of metres out from the line. Are the Whalers. There's Hoare's big long cutout pass to Ropeti, and there's a try. Going in to score Mone Sametepalu. That's the second try for him in the game. And Otago strike back, and it's 44-18. Well, that has righted the ship from Otago's perspective after a quiet 10 minutes there, Blake.
It has. Mackenzie Hall, great vision. He just knew where the ball had to go. He didn't have to hold it too long. Just throw a good cutout pass straight to Mackenzie, and then he did the rest. Samati Palu in the corner. Great vision by Howell. Now he gets to convert that.
Yeah, good effort there from Otago. Samati Palu got the first try, and he's got the 8th in the game now for Otago. And here comes Hoare again, who's kicked 6 from 7 so far. See how he goes here. He has kicked 1 from the sideline in the game. And that one's not going to go between the posts. So 44-18, score remains. Mone Sametepalu with a second try. And Otago looking comfortable again. So 15 minutes to play. Marino restarts for Wellington. Oh, good kick off. So Wellington are going to get a scrum here, 10 metres out. So Marino to feed the scrum. No chance for Wellington here. Sortunga gives it to Ikavati. Hopefully Wellington can execute a play as Haraka Wanakore goes to within 5 metres of the line. Here's Sortunga from dummy half. Good defence from Hagen Free. Also Apineru involved in that tackle as well. Bradley Moore for Noah. Still there for the Orcas. Still opportunities for them. Still tackles as one of Koref. Passes the ball this time. Nice hands out there from Faiumu. Faiumu still trying to his very best for his team. As O'Hagan plays dummy half. Here's Ula Ula. Now Marino. Marino needs to chase through his own kick, but Cameron Todd is there. Todd. Play on the call. Wanted about a high shot there from Ula Ula. Not to be a Solia. Makes good meters for Otago again. He's had an excellent game. The right winger for Otago. And now it's back out there now to play at dummy half for the Whalers. Oh, gee whiz, this is Delaney McKenzie again. No, it's Ropeti. Good pass to now. And Tonga now. Tackled 20 out. Ropeti into dummy half. Here's Hoare again. Out it comes to McKenzie. And now Somate Manu again. And he's tackled. Good scrambling defence there from O'Hagan and a couple of other Wellington players there. And Somate Palu still there for the Whalers. And now it's free again. Hagan free. Hoare. Todd not used this time. This is Ben Worthington who's out there now. Now Todd with the kick. And it's just gone too long, so it's going to be, in fact, there's going to be a penalty here, I think. Yeah, tackle while a player was in the air from Ikivati. And hopefully Solia is okay. Have a look on the replay here. It was the kick from Todd. Yeah, not much in that one, Blake, but the landing was very awkward, wasn't it?
It was, and he's got his right knee strapped as well, so I hope he's okay. He's been enormous today, Solia. Just carries from the back, carries from everywhere, getting in, doing some work, so hope the big man's all right.
Yes, indeed. He's had very good touches all the way through the game. Here comes McKenzie. Once again, Delaney McKenzie. Otago hunting for more scores as Allen goes close. Allen passing the ball this time. Out it comes to Thomas McKenzie. He's had a good, strong game, Thomas McKenzie. Lovely offload. Allen. A bit of showtime, but not picked up by Ropeti. Now Samete Palu. Here he is playing the ball. It's now on the 10-metre line. And here comes Tofauno again. A good, strong game. Filling in for Mika Muffy. And Hagan Free's going to score. Nice cap, Nix. To the ruck for Hagan Free, the co-captain. And there he is, going in to score. Enjoying his time in the Whalers after a few seasons out of the side. Hagan Free goes in to score his first try of this campaign and extend the lead to 48-18.
Tonga now there, just great deception. Dummied the runner coming under and great line. No one more deserving than Hagan Free today. He's played very well in that locked jersey, workhorse. Runs a great line, great deception, great try. Otago Whalers put the nail in the coffin right there.
Certainly did. And another try. They've continued to really score at will. The 9th try in the game now. Here's Hoare. He's had a very solid game at 5/8 today. His goal kicking has been absolutely brilliant. And there is 50 up for Otago. 7 from 9 for Mackenzie Hoare. And Otago just far too good for Wellington in this game today. So 8 minutes to play. So just pride to play for now for the Orcas. But you could argue it's probably been that for quite some time. Another excellent kickoff there by Marino. And here's Solia. Doesn't look has any ill effects after that awkward landing before, Blake, does he?
He looks fine. Another carry, what we're expected of him by now. Just another 20-metre carry.
Yeah, good run. Here comes Otago again. That was Allen. And now free, the last try scorer, Mackenzie. Good hands from him. Mackenzie Hoare. There goes Hoare putting the foot down and splitting the Wellington defence again. Oh, that's unlucky. That's unlucky. What a great run from Mackenzie Hoare there. I tell you what, that was a big play by that Wellington defender to rattle the ball loose.
They couldn't have, they didn't want any more, did they? He's put the afterburners on there, Hoare, and very unlucky. They just got him, got the ball. There's a knock on now. Wellington put some pride back on the scoreboard with a couple of tries, hopefully.
Well, Blake, I've got to say, it's been a tough season for all sorts of reasons. You know, we haven't had the Auckland teams. There are going to be 2 of them playing in the championship the competition this year. Auckland Vulcans and the Akarana Falcons, Counties Manukau. Didn't see them either. Waikato Mana had to pull out. But I tell you, hasn't it been great to see Otago Rugby League come forward this year? It's not a big region of rugby league players down there. In fact, a lot of players out there are from a rugby union background in this team. But Dave Reedy and the Otago Rugby League have done a great job, haven't they, to really come forward this year and, you know, thoroughly deserve this big win here today.
They have, mate. And like you said, we look for the positives. We know it's a tough time for a lot of people, and we thank them for the sacrifice, the lockdown that they've had to go through for us to keep playing this game. And, you know, Otago, it's good to see a team in a zone grow like this. And like you spoke about their win against Canterbury the other day, the first time in, I think it was 50 years, you said. So it's enormous, and the game's just getting bigger and stronger.
Well, some great play here from Wellington. Unfortunately, McDonald might have coughed it up. Good hands from Marino. Yeah, and it's been lost there by Delaney McKenzie. But good to see Wellington playing with a positive attitude, speaking of positives, right to the end of this game, Blake.
That's right, mate. They're not going to give up. Grown men here, they've travelled down to put a show on. Obviously, it didn't go their way today, but, you know, they're going to fight to the end, as we know they will.
So, yeah, it's been a really interesting season. Fingers crossed we'll get back to normal next year. And I just feel so sorry for those Auckland players who would have been looking forward to this campaign, not getting a chance this year to show their skill set in all of the games this year. This is Tafiti coming through here for Wellington. 5 minutes to go. Here's Wanakore. Wanakore looking good again to split the Otago defenders behind the ruck. He and Sortanga, good young prospects for Wellington. Marino. Here's Ekavati playing closer this time and giving it to Sam Filippo. That try of his in the first half will live in our memories for a while. Ekavati plays dummy half. Here is Marino. Now it's Jared McDonald. Sortanga. Nicely picked up by Matthew Faiumu. Last tackle now for the Wellington Orcas. There's the kick there from Arai Panapan. He's just overcooked it a little bit.
Yeah, he had to look up there. He had some numbers. He had some men outside him that were unmarked. But now the boys have to defend. They could have got the 4 points, but time to defend. We've got 4 minutes to go.
Otago in no hurry as they come back to the 20. It was Samate Palu with that run. Now Otago work away again. But this game well and truly in the bag. They won a title in 2017. Get Otago. Losing the last 2 years to Wellington in 2019 and Northland last year. We didn't see Northland this year either in the championship. Here comes Thomas McKenzie, and that's been passed to Ekavati, and Ekavati can stretch the legs here. Yeah, well, I've mentioned the Auckland team's not playing this year. We can't forget Northland either. They were unable to play in the competition this year either, although we did see their junior teams playing. As Tafiti runs, and now George Brown over the halfway. So fingers crossed we'll get a full complement of teams next year. There's a good little burst from Arai Panapa. Fast play the ball too. As they come forward now, Wellington. That's good pass back in field here to Manu. So Manu 10 metres out. Marino. And Ula can't quite free the arms for the offload, and it's a handover. Otago again defending their line nicely, even though the score board is well in their favour, Blake.
Yep, but some positive footy by the Wellington Orcas there to finish the game. They might get some time, another set with the ball, but just throwing the ball around, just seeing if they get some more points on the board. As here goes our man against Selena down the outside.
Oh, Solia. Look at him, he's a big, strong lad out on this wing. Actually, he has a background in Samoan Sevens rugby as well. That's Graham playing the ball. Well, McDonald's come out of that second best as we wind on down towards the last minute. Ricky Allen. Ponga now. Here's Mackenzie Hoare. Fine game from both halves today for Otago. Samate Palu almost getting the regather. And Wellington will have one last set. Play on's the call by referee Hopewell. So just over a minute left, 1:15. And Wellington get a free or some more possession here with a penalty. So there's Dave Reedy there. In the black cap, just walking out a shot there. He was in the black cap and the black mask around his mouth. Done a fantastic job for Otago, coaching this team for several seasons now. And I'm sure he'll be really happy for his players, first and foremost, rather. So Thomas McKenzie still trying his best there to disrupt and get the ball back for his team as Sopi Manu continues to go forward here for Wellington. Last few seconds of this contest. There's Fayumu, it's tackled. Soatanga to Ula. Now Marino, nice inside ball. Nicely handled though by the Otago defence. Soatanga has a snipe from dummy half. Here's Manu. Good pass. And this could be a flourishing finish here for Wellington as George Brown goes over to score. Or is he not? He is going to score the try as Mackenzie Hoare thought he was away. But it is George Brown who will have the last say in this contest. But all the joy goes to Otago. There he is, Dave Reedy, just congratulating his player there, Tofano. And it is a very good win here for the Otago Whalers, who are going to win this game very comfortably indeed. 50-22 the score at the moment, although we do have that conversion to come. But it's handshakes and smiles all round in that Otago Whalers team. Good effort here, Blake, for Wellington to finish with a try.
It was. We said they'd get another chance and they didn't disappoint. Some great footy, bit too late, but always good to finish on a positive note. So well done, Wellington. Well done to Otago as well. Congratulations on a win.
So there it is. It is 50-22 the full-time score. And Otago win the championship, the 3rd and 4th place playoff match for 2021. Well, they scored a number of tries, Blake. 5, 6, 7, 9 in all. And Wellington scored 5 tries. It's good goal kicking from Hoare, 7 from 9. We only have one order of business left, and that's to figure out an MVP. And we touched on several of these Otago players who played well. Hoare, Todd, McKenzie came strong, didn't he? Thomas McKenzie, good back row performance. But we're going to give it to an interchange player, actually, aren't we, Blake? Because he really sparked, when he came on, he really sparked up this Otago team and turned their fortunes around, didn't he?
He did. He came on when they were 10-0 down, and straight away from his first carry to his first hit in defence, I think he was the man out there on a mission, and I think he played the next 50 or 60 straight and scored a double, so he was very impressive. Jake Fowler.
Yeah, Jake Flower, good choice there, Blake. Well done. Jake Flower, Fowler, the New Zealand University's player, wearing 17 for Otago. Really strong performance from him and really sparked up his team to what was a memorable performance for him individually and for the team. So there we are, folks. That concludes the provincial program of Rugby League in 2021. And congratulations to the New Zealand Rugby League, in particular, Dave McMeekin. I think he's done a fantastic job, and his team to get to the finish line here, just, of course, with COVID ravaging through the country. I wouldn't say ravaging, actually, but certainly affecting many regions in New Zealand and making it very difficult for the New Zealand Rugby League to get through to the end of the season. But they've done it with Otago winning today by 50-22. So on behalf of the entire team that brought you the coverage here today, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you next time for Rugby League action here on Sky Sport.